People think about aerospace, especially in the context of what I do, as making and fielding aircraft, helicopters, spaceships. And that's a part of it, but it is a whole ecology. I mean, if you've flown on a commercial airliner, there's a whole bunch of people that make that happen once that airline is out there and make sure it stays functional and safe and pilot it and keep you safe and comfortable on that airliner. If you have seen a military airplane fly over, there's a whole group of people who are involved in not only keeping that airplane flying, but keeping the base running that actually makes it possible to fly that airplane. And back to my part of it, we're making parts to keep those things running. So it's not just one thing, and it's not just one pathway. So you have to think about it as, if you are interested in things that fly, find something that interests you, and this is a great industry to be part of.
Well, the buzz, everybody's the last 5-10 years, STEM is the word. So science, technology, engineering, and math. Although I would tell any student that because we know not every high school has the same type of offerings, just capitalize on whatever your high school offers in those arenas. Again, science, technology, engineering, and math, because in high school, you're just getting a foundation anyway. You will get more advanced study, you'll get to learn a lot more once you go beyond high school, but that gives you a foundation either for a go-to-work type opportunity or a go-to-school type opportunity.
So I think about that in terms of what direction do you want to go? Do you want to build things? Do you want to design things? Do you want to fly things? Do you want to fix and repair things? Do you want to run things? Do you want to run finance about things? So you have to think about it in all of those different pathways. If you want to build things or if you want to fix and repair things, then you really need to look at the mechanical, technical type of activities. Shop is a great one, which they don't offer everywhere anymore. But, being able to work with your hands, because when you're building aircraft, you are working with your hands. Some of the people we hire have been people at auto body repair shops. Other people have been people who repaired cars. But other people have been people who joined the Air Force, Army, Navy, or Marines and were trained to repair military aircraft and helicopters while they were in the service. That's one pathway. Typically those people, before they work at a place like ours, will go to a community college. East Mississippi Community College is the one that's closest to us, and they will learn some of the specific skills that we use to build the aircraft and helicopter parts that we do.
Well, and I think part of it is having a vision and a work ethic, because even as a high school student, the world is available to you, and as I would tell my son, you can have as much or as little in life as you're willing to work for. And that is absolutely critical. And for a high school student, it becomes the difference between spending that extra time actually studying that science, technology, engineering, and math, as opposed to, social media or video games.
So starting figures for somebody who's actually building the aircraft parts, they coming into our company or a company like ours are going to be making somewhere in the range of $13 or $14 an hour. They can progress fairly quickly after that. Somebody with several years of experience may be making half again more than that. Somebody with experience and certifications to actually repair the airplanes be making 2 to 3 times that easily, and perhaps much more. If you're coming in as an engineer, as an intern, you may be starting at the $45,000 to $55,000 a year range. But an experienced engineer can easily make 4 to 6 times that, depending on what you're working on, depending on your level of responsibility. Those are the main jobs we have in our facility, but I know pilots in many cases, when they start in a commercial airline, may not make that much, may not make anything much different than what our starting technicians make. When they're flying for one of the large airlines, they're doing as good as those top engineers. So, I know the companies with which I'm aware of are all looking for those next contracts. Much of the aerospace world is driven by government contracts. I mean, we don't put most things in space without government contracts. We don't build military aircraft and helicopter without government contracts. And we're all looking for those and all looking to expand that. In addition, even though the current situation has brought down the need for commercial airliners, that's going to bounce back. And those commercial airliners and those mid-size airliners that fill in the gap are going to be a very hot commodity again. Different companies in this area build different components for those things. And we're all continuing to look at expanding our business there and growing our facilities here. It helps that Mississippi really wants to have businesses like that. And it helps that there is an interest to invest in schooling, in programs, in training, and in infrastructure and facilities to actually make that happen.
I talked about a commercial airline pilot, and that's obviously manned flight. But as a society, we have not scratched the surface yet on what we're going to be able to do with unmanned systems, and the fact that that type of development, that type of research, that type of industry is growing here in the state of Mississippi. Being from the coast, I didn't realize that one of the leading polymer research institutions in the country is at Southern Miss. And then we have Mississippi State, and everybody's known Mississippi State as an engineering school forever, but the fact that they have a flight simulation school, and the facilities there, and that now where the unmanned aerial systems are concerned, Mississippi State is a center of excellence for the country in that type of technology and that type of industry. So it just continues to bode well for what's going on in our state, but we need our citizens, our Mississippians, to jump into those industries and continue to grow and prosper that for themselves and for our state as well.
So our company's located on an airport. I mean, you go out our back door, you are looking at the runway, and there might be airplanes parked out there. So I love to see things fly. I tell you, coming up here to give this interview, one of the best things was driving past Columbus Air Force Base, watching the jet fighter trainers come in for landing as I was driving past. But to go back there and see something taking off or landing or making a touch and go and thinking, I might have had a part of that. I might have helped somebody have a part of that.
And a 25-year Air Force career, I've been able to travel. I just can't even express enough the people that I have met throughout this country, throughout this world. I mean, I'm from small town Mississippi, down along the coast, and I can say that I have been as far north as the Arctic Circle in Norway, Central and South America. And again, that's from small town Mississippi. And while I had a certain vision for what my life would look like, it has been that much more